Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. We are in the beautiful Chicago, Illinois. We'll be taking out this beautiful E-Jet down below us there. It's a very lonely airport. One airplane in this entire airport. That's just because I disabled FS traffic. And I don't use built-in multiplayer, and I'm on the system update 15. So, less people, less airplanes, but we're gonna go flying. This is a real world flight that is being done. Actually, they'll be taking off in about an hour. They are departing from gate G4 in Chicago, and our trip today is going, as you see up there in the top, going to Fargo, North Dakota. This is a flight I do have scheduled within a pilot's life. And I typically don't like doing long flights with streaming. I get bored. But I figured, this would be a great opportunity to really showcase what you'll hear with Say Intentions. And then we're also going to turn on the tour guide and have it give us some information as we do our flight. So let's get this plane ready to go for departure so we can get flying. I'm going to connect that GPU and go up top here and get the battery switches on. Nav strobe, red beacon, inspection and logo lights all on. The passenger signs. I do sterile, no smoking, and fasten seatbelt all right away. And get that GPU started up. While that GPU is working, back over to the tablet. Flight detail, import, sim brief plan. Chicago to Fargo, perfect. So about an hour, 2-hour flight. We'll see if the winds help us out, but I don't think it's going to today. And looks good there. Departure, we're expecting runway 22 left out of Chicago here. Conditions are nice and dry here. Flaps 2 departure. There's our wind at 12 knots. And instant loader aircraft. Actually, hold on, calculate. Instant loader aircraft. Manifest 4.2 for the trim. That over to the MiG-2. Switches over to ground. Okay, and that's working its magic now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. My name is Martin, and with first
Martin speaking.
we will have the pleasure.
Go ahead and set our speed to let's go 220. I know you're supposed to set this for your B's, but I like to just do 2.
Please listen to the cabin crew's instructions during the flight. Thank you, and have a smooth flight.
All right, now we're just waiting for this to finish its work. Let's bring up the where's that? There it is. The intentions up on the screen, and let's go ahead and get ATIS while we are waiting for the rest of it to get all lined up. 1, 3, 5, and a 4 for ATIS. Put in clearance while we're at it.
W at 7500 feet. Few at 10000 feet. Scattered at 25000 feet. Temperature 20.
Ah, yeah, good catch. Experimental, thank you.
Altimeter 2979er. Arriving and departing
Alright, experimental is on. I forgot about that, I did test it yesterday.
Center. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery on 121.6. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
Information Tango.
Chicago O'Hare International Airport, information Tango. 1251 Zulu. Wind 220 at 10. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, few at 7500 feet. Few at 10000 feet. Scattered at 25000 feet. Temperature 20. Dew point 11. Altimeter 2979er. Arriving and departing runways 27 left, 28 left, 27 right, 22 left, 27 center, 28 right, 28
Alright, so
center.
Tango is our information.
Visual approaches in use.
Thanks for that reminder. I completely forgot about that. Okay, we are now on clearance. Let's go ahead and west. O'Hare Clearance. SkyWest 510 would like to pick up its IFR flight to Hector International with information Tango. We are ready to copy. What's Tango, right? Hey, how's it going there, Gabe? Welcome on back to the stream. Here it's Tango. Next I have to get the pushback going. Maybe with a longer stream, I actually won't make as many mistakes as I... Maybe. Alright, map on.
SkyWest 510, Chicago clearance cleared to Hector International. Radar vectors PMPKN then as filed. Climb and maintain 20,000. Departure on 125.0, squawk 1345. Expect runway 22 left for departure.
20 out. Roll pumpkin. Clear to Hector International, radar vectors pumpkin, then is filed. Climb maintain 20,000. Departures on 125.0, squawk 1345. We'll expect runway 22 left for departure. SkyWest 510. It's amazing though, as you can talk so fast to either this or be on ATC, and it recognizes it. That's impressive.
SkyWest 510, read back correct. Expect runway 22 left. Contact ground on 118.05.
We're ground. Let's get her. What's it called? Push and start. O'Hare ground. SkyWest 510, ready for push and start. Background. I'm getting my flap set up. Right stuff. We have a rolling.
SkyWest 510, Chicago ground pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Advise when ready to taxi.
Pushback is approved. SkyWest 510. Okie dokie. We're on our way. So I did this flight in real life this past September. Visit some family. And the flight going to Chicago, or to Fargo, so this flight here, because of the wind, was like 30 minutes later, or sorry, faster than scheduled. And we departed 30 minutes late. So we made up an hour worth of flight time in the sky because of the wind. It was crazy.
Iberia Charlie 3232. A Karuna ground
The flight
push
back
and start
was
face
you know,
east.
normal.
Expect runway 21
That
for
flight
departure.
going there was,
Contact
I was
tower on
blown away.
118.3 when ready
They had
for
an issue with the
departure.
plane,
Information is current.
some mechanical issue with the plane, so they had to swap out planes in a nearby city here in the Illinois area. Fly that plane in here, and then make our takeoff. But to make up an hour is absurd. Alright, engine 1 is good, engine 2 is coming on up.
Aumento aprovado, subida para nível de voo 270.
I might turn off some of the multiplayer chatter as we do our flight so we can hear the tour guide better. We'll see what happens. I do think I read that the SAYINTENTIONS team will be adding in a way to separate the multiplayer voices and the chatter better. I shouldn't say better, but another way to do it, which would be really, really cool. By the way, you can click on frequency within the BAT app and your radios will
Tornado
use...
892 Tango
Yeah,
Oscar,
I know you
hold
can do that
short of
within
taxiway
the
Delta, waiting for
SAYINTENTIONS.
clearance
You can
to
also
enter
do
the ramp.
the auto frequency thing too. But I have, like, not in this plane because it doesn't work, but in all my other, pretty much every other plane, I can use my Stream Deck or my Logitech radio panel. I'm like, well, I have those things for a reason. Although in this plane, I'm actually like, that voice sounded very familiar. Is that Brian? I just Chicago ground, SkyWest 510, request taxi. Ryan. Awfully early for him. Oh, it'd be what? 7 something in the West Coast? Alright. We got that all good. We can turn off this. We can get our taxi lights going. We have that going. Good to go. Waiting for taxi clear. Let's see if they work. I did a flight yesterday. I think it was yesterday in Chicago. Out of Chicago, and it taxi a discretion thing. Today's a big day for the taxi day time. Later on this evening, I believe, is I last heard.
SkyWest 510 taxi to runway 22 left at your discretion. Contact tower on 126.8 when ready for departure.
Taxi to runway 22 left, SkyWest 510. That's unfortunate. Alright. Brakes off. Let's go. Yeah, so today, if you've not heard, today, SAYINTENTIONS will be launching the crowdsourcing ability to customize taxiways that are incorrect within its AI system. And that's so cool. I'm gonna spend so much time doing that. So I use pilot site for the majority of my flights. So what I do right now is, if there's an airport that I haven't really gone to or don't go to frequently, I'll check to see if I have a third party or a freeware for that airport. First freeware, because I don't have the money. But then I'll try to do what I can with that, and then have a nice airport. I'm gonna do the same thing. This time with the taxiways. Well, if it's an airport I have not visited before, I will go in there and look at the taxiway, make sure they're all correct. And by doing that, I feel I'm gonna help the community quite a bit, because I do potentially too many flights. Thankfully, my wife hasn't yelled at me. She knows it's my big hobby. But I'm super excited. I'm super. Hopefully it comes out sooner than later today. And hopefully it works flawless. And I think they've slowly kind of rolled out some Navigraph taxiway integrations, from my understanding. I think all that rolls out today as well. Alright, what do we got here? It's our turn. Alpha Bravo. No, Alpha Lima Victor. Oh no, I missed it. Went one too soon. Chicago's just got too much going on.
Cherokee Tree 15 X-ray Papa Cross, runway 27, contact ground on 121.9.
This works, but normally it would take Alpha Victor runway 22 left. In this case, we're going to take Alpha Bravo Golf Golf. No, is this November? This is November. Yeah, it's November. I think this is the longest flight I've ever taken the E-Jet on as well. I'm almost positive, actually. Typically, there's performance degrades as you do longer flights. Hopefully not today.
Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo, continue taxi. Turn right at the next intersection. Hold short of runway 27.
Yes.
Continuing taxi, turning right at the next intersection, holding short of runway 27, Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo.
Been flying the Airbus so much this week, and yesterday I wasn't feeling so great, so I didn't do a whole lot of flying. But Saturday, after my wife and I, we celebrated our anniversary, came home. I just did flying. She played some Baldur's Gate, and I did some flight sim. That's what we do with our anniversary. We love it.
Cherokee Tree 15 X-ray Papa, hold short of runway 22, traffic on final approach.
All right, coming up on 22 left. Right, let's hold short. Make the switch over. Did I already pop that in there? Yep, perfect. Chicago Tower, good morning. SkyWest 510 holding short, 22 left, ready for departure. Departure 125. Right, we're cleared the pumpkin. Suppose we should probably do
SkyWest 510 Chicago Tower, winds 220 at 11 runway 22 left, cleared for takeoff.
runway 22 left, clear for takeoff, SkyWest 510. One thing I appreciate recently is there hasn't been as many of the lineup and waits. I was getting that a lot. Not sure if that was a bug. I didn't read about it ever in the Discord. I'm glad to not have as many of those.
Takeoff, okay.
Once in a while is fine, but I was getting it like every flight. Alright, we're clear for takeoff, so we're gonna line up here, get our throttle set, and we'll toga. Toga's on, auto throttle on. Throttle's coming up. Toga set. Roll. 484 nautical miles. I want to lift off the ground already.
V1. Rotate.
And like they introduced a little bug there with the last update. I've been noticing that. Alright, positive rate of climb, gears going up. Clear to Pumpkin. Actually, let's hold runway heading. See if it changes. Gives us something different.
SkyWest 510, contact departure on 125.0.
125.0, SkyWest 510. Flaps going up one notch. Let's make our switch over. Departure, SkyWest 510, 3,400, climbing flight level 200. Alright, let's see if it gives us a different vector.
SkyWest 510, Chicago departure radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 220. Turn right heading 360 vectors to PMPKN, then own navigation.
Bumpy, holy cow. Flight level 220, right heading 360, vectors to Pumpkin, SkyWest 510. Alright, so 360, and then 22. Get closer to 9,000, I'll throw on the autopilot. This plane is being really bumpy when I'm using the trim key. I use the actual... I use a wheel, it's fine. Huh. Maybe it's the wind that's messing. Just seemed to be whenever I moved the trim, really messed with it. Yeah, I think it's the wind. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, so this is the heading they wanted, but that's not going to get me on Pumpkin. I can go over more. It's kind of cool, like when you do a real world flight that you've flown before, because, well, reverse that. It's really cool when you do a sim flight first. I think that's what I was trying to say, I guess. And then do a real world flight in the sky, like in real IRL, because you know where you're flying, right? You have the flight plan in your head, so you're like, oh yeah, I know where we're going. We're going to Pumpkin right now.
Skywest
Or whatever.
510, contact Chicago Center on 133.625.
Over to Chicago Center, Skywest 510. Alright, so 133.25. Whoops. 5. Chicago Center, good morning. Skywest 510, 2000, climbing flight level 220. Pretty close to 2000. I love the auto. Yeah. So it's very faint in this one, and it's something they recently been working on.
510 Chicago Center, roger.
But it's really cool.
2977.
I honestly wish every aircraft had the Phoenix A320s. Theirs is really, really cool. Actually, I just realized you're talking about. You're talking about the speed, right? B1, B2 rotate. Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, yeah. The 737 AMDG has a really well done too, and this one too. All right, I think we can pick up some speed at this point. Want to be in the air, or we don't want? Yeah, we don't want to be in the air longer than we have to, right? Go 270. Plane can do what, 0.72 or something? Somewhere in there. Alright, let's turn on tour guide. Now, tour guide's a little bit more faint with her voice than the actual ATC, so hopefully we can hear it better. Hear it okay? We're cleared to
After 11 o'clock, you'll find Parking Skill Golf, a place that's been challenging the coordination of humans since the late 20th century. It's a miniature golf course, which is like normal golf, but
Eurowing
smaller,
7 Golf Charlie,
as if
contact
for ants,
Macedonia on
which is fascinating because
126.525.
ants don't play golf. People say it's the world's most unusual golf course, which is a bold claim in a world
Bamboo
that also
286,
contains
Langen
Donald
radar.
Trump air.
Expect the
My
runway
friend
8
Toby
RNAV
once
approaching
tried
to
using
Innsbruck
sausage
via
as
the
a
Main
putter
1B
there.
arrival.
Said it was a meaty challenge. He got banned for life. Not for the sausage, but for trying to ride the windmill. As for our flying, it's almost as smooth as Toby's pudding stroke, which is, well, not very.
Not very. The tour guide is one of the coolest things I wish I tried earlier on with SAYINTENTIONS. It's such a cool thing. Like,
Eurowing 7 Golf Charlie,
You-
Macedonia, good afternoon.
yesterday I did a short little hop Fly from Milwaukee to... I can't remember. Anywho, I was flying over Minnesota and Wisconsin, and just the facts I learned, one of which is somewhere in Wisconsin has the world's largest soup kettle. Like, who keeps track of that? The world's largest soup kettle. It seems like such a weird thing, and definitely a Wisconsin thing. All right, standard pressure 2992. All right, so let's start getting things up here. Arrival. A long way to go, but get some things in there.
SkyWest 510, Chicago Center, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Flight level 240, SkyWest 510. So arrival... 1099, so we do 11. You get another altitude jump momentarily. Hour 36, so we're looking not too bad. We've been in the air for 9 minutes. We're looking about, what, 20 minutes ahead of schedule at this point. Projected arrival 1806. See if we can make up some more in the sky. Doesn't look like it, though. The wind is coming from the west. It'll probably hurt us more than anything. So I have
510, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Flight level 260, SkyWest 510. I have I bought SimFX from Parallel 42, and it's supposed to add on a bunch of effects stuff. Now I fly in mostly real world weather. It did add like the vapor trails. Although I think some of them are a little aggressive. We need to put it down a bit. But I haven't noticed anything else. Now granted, I have not really flown in the rain yet. So I haven't been able to test that, and I haven't really tried much to make it happen, you know, force it to happen.
SkyWest 510, alright, climb and maintain flight level 320, nice and easy.
Up to cruising. Flight level 320, SkyWest 510. Try to ask direct to wait. Ah, yeah, I suppose I could do that. I would cut back on some. Not a whole lot, though. Like, we're 30 nautical miles away from Bay, and then it's pretty much direct to Minneapolis and direct to Fargo. We're not really going to save. Let me see, I can bring it up on Navigraph for you. Dar. Yafar. Ayafar. What's going on? Okay. Get rid of this. Yeah, so see, it's pretty much straight across to this point. Or I could cut here and save, you know, what, 5 minutes? This is only at, what, 27 it says? 23 right now, so not gonna really be able to save that much time. I remember when I was younger and I did flight sim, I did a lot of Minneapolis to Fargo, a lot of Minneapolis to Chicago, Chicago to Fargo, because I grew up in this area, and I would never have filed flight plans like this. Like, I do go direct. Direct here to there. None of this other stuff. How far I've come. Alright, we're expecting 3-6 arrival into Fargo, so there is a... Here's our flight plan. We'll fly over FAR and get on the approach into Fargo. Just big gap of nothing here. GEP and then that's it.
Sky West 510, alright, when you can contact Chicago Center. On 123.825.
123.825. 123.825, SkyWest 510. Good day. So I was... Let me make this call, and then I'll finish what I was going to say here. Chicago Center, SkyWest 510. We're at flight level 270, climbing 320. So I was talking to my wife, and like I don't know if this happens so much on real world frequencies.
Chicago Center, Roger.
I've heard it from time to time. But like people, mostly on VATSIM, will do the what they say, like, see ya. They'll do like a super aggressive see ya. I don't know, it just seems so stupid to me. Like, for VATSIM being supposed to be like super professional, and then you hear that kind of thing, it kind of ruins the immersion. I don't know. I don't know any of this history of why that became a thing, but whatever. I just saw that you on the hey, welcome on in, music. Just saw me on the SAYINTENTIONS map, so if you don't know...
1 o'clock, you'll spot the Waukesha Water Tower. Standing like a lonely pencil that's lost its eraser. Built at a time when people still use pencils, it's been looming over Waukesha since the days when water was
Is
considered
Milwaukee?
a good thing. The tower is a hit with tourists who've run out of other things to look at. Now my friend Toby, he once tried to use it as a giant megaphone to declare his love for a girl who wasn't even in the same state. Turns out, love isn't all you need. You also need a basic
Isn't it a song?
understanding of geography and acoustics.
Alright, so if you don't know, you can go into Listen Live. And on here, you can see all the people who are in SAYINTENTIONS right now. And I learned not too long ago that blue are planes in the sky, green are planes on the ground, and orange are the planes that are talking.
Atlanta Center, Frontier 3098, flight level 160, climbing 250.
Frontier 098, Atlanta Center. Good afternoon. Altimeter 3003.
Follow selected aircraft on the map. Oh, that's cool. Like here we are, right here, right? Yeah, there we are. Like Stereo. Hey, how come it doesn't have my other? Okay.
We are at gate 11. We are requesting pushback and startup.
So really, really cool. And then we'll have all the European ones.
286 Munich radar, descend and maintain flight level 130.
And let's see if there's anyone else going. Oh wow, we got one down here, Saudi Arabia. And we have an Australian flight. One in New Zealand. One up in Canada. Two up in Canada. A whole bunch of... Oh, okay. Is that three? How many are down here? Holy cow, what do we got going on down here? Country... American... And... what was this? United? Yeah. Where is this? Salt Lake? Denver. Yeah, it's gotta be Salt Lake City, right? Oh no, sorry, Denver. Denver International. Cool. Wonder if there are a bunch of route flyers. one going? DH, no, DH. That's a DH. That. You're going to Des Moines. Oh, Comanche? Is that what it says? No. Sure what that is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just reached cruising altitude. The entire flight was carried out in accordance with the submitted flight.
What's going on here?
Weather at the destination airport should be good. Do not expect
Holy
any
cow,
disruption
that's a
during the
long
course of the
flight.
However, it is recommended to keep your seatbelts fastened in case of
Jeez Louise. Are they off course though? Did they go to bed? They took off from London. And they're going to Salt Lake City. But I feel something went wrong. I feel something went way wrong. But that's...
Albuquerque departure Piper 26 Delta requesting VFR departure to Sedona.
3,800... No. Oh, 38,000, okay. Oh, man.
Piper 0826 Delta Phoenix approach on departure. Maintain VFR at or below 7500 feet.
GLL. Let's see what,
375. Squawk 4532. 4231, saia do espaço aéreo controlado aprovado. Relatar quando estiver fora do espaço aéreo.
GLL. Alex.
Lufthansa 2108, Dusseldorf clearance understood. Pass your message.
Okay, so here's a scheduled flight. Yeah, they're way off course.
Approach, maintain VFR at or below 7500, departure on
Maybe not.
126.375, squawk 4532.
They should have been turning right here. Yeah, I think they're off course. And then something went wrong here, I think.
Northern 113 is holding short of runway 16, ready to depart.
That's cool. That's really cool. Alright, hour 20 we got. We ask Janet something unique about the area. Janet, what is something unique about this area? That's what it comes up with. Like I've said in my previous videos, like I love this plane so much, but the FPS is...
Oh, unique, you say? Well, right below it is the Whitney Building. Structure that stands out lick. Sore thumb, but not because it's painful or anything. It's just really noticeable. Built in an era when people thought bricks were the future, it's been standing there since before anyone can remember. Probably because no one really wrote it down. It's loved by tourists who enjoy staring at old things and wondering why. Now my friend Toby, he once tried to start business there, selling pre-chewed gum. Said it was for people who were too tired to chew. Needless to say, it didn't stick.
Are you going to be in this area in 2 weeks? All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so like I said, I did a flight. I did this exact flight last September. And then I drove there. What's it been now? 3 weeks ago? It's 3 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't. All these weeks are meshing together. But I drove there from Chicago to Fargo, visit family again. And about a 9-hour drive. And like, Wisconsin's beautiful to fly, to drive through. Minnesota's beautiful. The majority of Minnesota is beautiful to drive through. Illinois, not too bad. But once you get, I would say, about 200. Yeah, about 200 miles to North Dakota. It's just so flat and boring. There's nothing in the area. Yeah, okay, sorry. Thanks for reminding me there. So yeah, what I was gonna say is I love this plane so much. I really do. The flight model is really, really cool. I love the automation in the plane. It handles really, really nicely. My only complaint, and I know people complain that there is no VNAV, but like, no big deal, whatever, right? My biggest complaint. Did I forget to turn off my lights? Oh no, I did. Okay. Biggest complaints is
SkyWest 510,
the FPS.
contact Chicago Center on 135.45.
Like I'm sitting between 70 and 75 right now, and I should be getting over 100. I feel as if I was in the Phoenix, the 737, the CRJ, I'd be getting over 100 right. 135.45, SkyWest 510. 155. I normally don't respond back when they say head on over. I just switched a button. I just hit the button when I fly by myself without streaming. Chicago Center, SkyWest 510, flight level 320. I wonder how it works for SAYINTENTIONS.
SkyWest 510, Chicago Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Look at that. Brian over at SAYINTENTIONS says he had to hire, what was it, like 200 of NASA's best scientists to figure out why it was saying good evening in the morning and good morning in the evening, or vice versa. Fantastic. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wonder. So obviously, SAYINTENTIONS is a pay per month, so it's a subscription service. Do they pay per character used, or do they have just unlimited access to their LLM? You know, like back in the day, you had to pay per text, right? You can write an entire text message, and that's one text. But if you do like K, that's one text as well. Which I bet you back in the day, we didn't do a lot of Ks and yeahs and stuff like that. We would just not respond because I was using one of our text messages. Good evening. Hey, Ifred, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome on in. Hey, Ifred, I was going to mention this in Discord. If you ever need or interested in having an intro for your YouTube channel, let me know and I can help you out if you're not skilled in that or don't have time, whatever it be. Like, I have fun making them. I've made a couple for SAYINTENTIONS. The Vectors to Final, I made that for Brian on Friday. And I did something else for him not too long ago either. Oh, the video they put up on YouTube recently, that was all my shots I took. But I love doing that kind of stuff. It's fun, so let me know. 1 hour and 14 minutes to go. Not doing too bad. I still made up only 20 minutes in the air. Suppose I can go a little faster too. Okay, the wind. Right, so let's see what we got. Have about, what, 40-ish minutes before we get to Minneapolis. Let's ask Janet what's special about Wisconsin. That sounds so mean. Janet, what's so special about Wisconsin? We'll see if she's all snarky. She made a great comment about Fargo when I did a test flight there. It's something like, why do people live here? Or they don't even know why they live here. Hilarious. Which is very true. Very true.
Wisconsin, known for its cheese, cold, and cows, is Lick. Giant outdoor refrigerator where people actually choose to live. It's home to the Wisconsin Dells, which I bit like nature's water park, if nature ha. Thing for water slides and rubber rings. The Dells were formed during the last ice age, which is ironic, because it's the sort of place that makes you think global warming might have its perks. It, geological wonder with sandstone formations that have been around for about 14,000 years, give or take, week. People come from all over to golf at rocks and pretend they're having fun on boats. My friend Toby, he once tried to impress Dave by jumping off one of those cliffs. He ended up impressing the local search and rescue team instead. And speaking of impressive, it's quick. Feat to keep an aircraft steady with these winds, isn't it? Almost as challenging as finding warm day in Wisconsin.
Oh, ouch. Oh man, good old Janet. She's fun. She's very, very fun. Welcome in, Danny. Welcome on in. It's crazy to think, you know, back in the prehistoric time that this wasn't as flat as it is now. You know, well, I shouldn't say that. This was all covered in water. Crazy to think that. It's amazing. The Earth is just, when you sit there and think about it, it's just, the Earth is just fascinating. The transformation over millions of years, land and water, continents. It's so incredible. Incredible. I think that's the thing, like when you're younger and you're trying to figure out what your hobby is, your passion is, right? Those are the kids that are just blown away with geography and learning about the history of the world, Earth itself. Those are the guys that go on to become big-time scientists at NASA or historians, whatever it be. They want to gain so much of this knowledge, share with the world. So cool. Getting into Minnesota here quickly.
Frontier 098, contact Atlanta Center on 127.3.
Like, say 40 nautical miles
Suba e
from
mantenha
the
nível
Minnesota
de voo
border.
130.
The Fargo to Minneapolis Fargo route is less than an hour. Longest stretch obviously is Chicago to Minneapolis. That's 500 nautical miles as it is, and then Minneapolis to Fargo is like 250 or so. Yeah, once we get to about 30, 35. Or sorry, once we get down to 10 here, nautical miles will be into. Let's see, what, Wisconsin cheese. So let's see if, ask Janet. Why is Wisconsin cheese so famous? Let's see what Janet has for us. Janet's like having another streamer with me.
Wisconsin cheese. It's like the Kardashians of the dairy world, famous for being famous. It's all because of the happy cows,
Frontier
which are like the
098,
therapists of
contact
the
Atlanta
grasslands,
Center on
listening to the earth's
128.725.
woes and turning them into delicious cheese. Wisconsin's been churning this stuff since before the cows knew they were in Wisconsin. They say the cheese is as full of culture A, yogurt pots left in the sun, and my friend Toby, he once tried to make his own cheese after visit to Wisconsin, ended up with something resembling science experiment gone wrong. It, wonder, like our navigation skills, always surprising, never quite what you expect.
So there you go. Wisconsin cheese is so famous because the cows didn't even know they were making it.
510, contact Chicago Center on 125.05.
125.05, SkyWest 510. We're getting sent over here because we should be getting sent over to Minneapolis. Is that right? Don't seem right. Let me check. Down here. That's right. Chicago Center, SkyWest 510, flight level 320. Crossed over to Minneapolis.
SkyWest 510, Minneapolis Center, roger.
Well, we'll get a switch over momentarily. Yeah, we just switched over to Minneapolis Center. Or crossed the line, I should say. I'm not sure why we got handed off to... Oh, that was Minneapolis Center. Well, what the hell? It said contact Chicago Center, and now we're on Minneapolis Center. Ah, that's a goofy bug. It's like, that made no sense. Why are we going to Chicago Center when we're just on the border of Minneapolis Center? Alright, well, we are right almost there to Minneapolis. I think this river we have coming up here, separation point. I don't know if you can see it in the stream, but like there's like a slight little stutter. That's from this damn FPS drop in this plane. Else this would have been silky smooth. Hopefully it doesn't get worse as we progress. There are some times where it's fine. Like I could fly and I'll get 90 frames throughout the entire flight. But then there's times like this where it just drops off. Is that the Mississippi? That's not the Mississippi. Gotta figure out if that's Mississippi.
SkyWest 510, contact Minneapolis Center on 118.85.
118.85, SkyWest 510. 11885. Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 510, flight level 320. Remember, you've been with SAYINTENTIONS long enough for when it used to, which you can see so often.
SkyWest 510, Minneapolis Center, roger.
You get handed off to center like a billion times throughout your flight. That's the issue that Beyond ATC currently has. Well, I don't know if currently, because I haven't used it for several days now. Maybe they patched it, but that's the issue that I've noticed at SAYINTENTIONS in my use. You get handed off to so many centers.
Paris Control, roger.
I always get nervous here because it looks like we're going to be off course. But the waypoint's like right below us, pretty much 7 nautical miles. So that turn shortly. All right, let's see, Minnesota. Let's see. Janet, did the Vikings settle in Minnesota?
Please confirm the arrival runways for...
I did a tour in Iceland. I think that's up now, or will be up in a couple days, with Janet. And it was really cool. I learned some really interesting things. Especially about Toby.
like asking if chicken settled. People think
Qatar
Viking might have
351
been
Heavy,
in
proceed
Minnesota
direct to
because of the
fix-it
Kensington
intersection.
runestone, which I
Direct to fix it,
big
Qatar
flat
Tree
wrong on.
51 Heavy.
That looks like it was done by someone who had just discovered emojis. It was found in 1890 HB. Swedish farmer who probably thought it was just very flat cow.
Iberia
Some say it's proof that
232.
Vikings were there in 1362.
Espere la aproximación
But others
ILS
think this is genuine
a la
as my
pista
friend
32
Tony's
derecha
claim that he
en
invented the
Adolfo
concept
Suárez,
of
Madrid,
disappointment.
Barajas,
Speaking of
a través de la
he
llegada
once tried to
ZMR
fly both
5C.
in Minnesota, claiming he was retracing Viking routes. He ended up in someone's backyard koi pond. As for our flying, it's like you're tracing the past. Oh, leaf in the wind, isn't it? Quite poetic.
I do wish that, and maybe Brian and the team will integrate this at some point, but that they could have it so that when Janet talks, it lowers the volume of chatter in multiplayer.
Iberia 232.
So that
Descienda y
Janet's
mantenga nivel
more
de vuelo 160.
prominent. And I think that's maybe why, I think because of the ATC is why Janet already is, not just Janet, but the tour guide is at a lower volume, so you can still hear ATC. Obviously, that's an important part of the flight. But I feel
Delta
there,
401, clear direct to Delta Alpha November VOR.
if
Clear direct
it's
to
a call
Delta
for
Alpha
you,
November VOR, Delta 401.
then lower Janet. But if it's just chatter or multiplayer, then lower that. I'm not sure how difficult that would be to integrate, but it'd be cool.
Northern 113, climb and maintain 17,000. Report reaching.
We're making some good speed. We've got 50 minutes left, it's saying. And we've been flying for 40 minutes. So I think we just trimmed off another 10 minutes. Looks like we're on pace to get there substantially early. What was the initial time? Like 13 or something? 16, 13? But yeah, I think we just took off another 10 minutes. Definitely not from the wind either. The wind is coming towards us.
Frontier 098, contact Memphis Center on 127.1.
What is it, 10,000 lights? That's Minnesota is, right?
Iberia 232, descienda y manténgase en nivel de vuelo 130.
You can definitely tell it in the simulator. Still? Well, that's still the same. Might be Mississippi still. I think it is. The huge ass river. All the way down south to Louisiana. It's so cool, like.
Northern 113, contact Edmonton Center on 124.2.
Like, no. When flying over, let's say, like, what's it called? New York area, New York State, and some of the areas over there. They have these, I don't know what the technical term is, but there's these hills, and you can see, like, over the years of the wind going over these hills, and they leave indents, kind of like you're seeing here. This is from water, I assume. Obviously, it's trees here, but it's so cool because it's like corroding the hills,
FedEx 101 heavy,
breaking down the
reduce
hills
speed to
slowly. You just see
280
these
knots for
big,
sequencing.
like in the,
Slowing to
in,
280 knots, FedEx
in
101
the
heavy.
desert, when the wind parts all the sand, kind of like that. It's really, really cool looking. That's what's amazing about this sim is this is real world satellite imagery. Real world, the entire world. It's all here. It's incredible. I never thought this would be done. Like, I know there was always ortho you could throw in into X-plane, but like it was okay. But the extent we have now, this is phenomenal. Got little issues like this with the mapping from time to time, but just incredible. To make out cities. The VFR flying in today's sim is so realistic.
510, contact Minneapolis Center on 135.7.
135.7, SkyWest 510. Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 510, flight level 320. Close to Minneapolis. Right on up here.
SkyWest 510, Minneapolis Center. Good morning.
My wife was born, I believe it was in Wisconsin, but lived in Minnesota. Or vice versa. Maybe she was born in Minnesota. Yeah, I think she was born in Minnesota and then grew up in Wisconsin. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Minneapolis is really nice. Very nice area. When we consider moving, we had Minneapolis. Well, I had briefly thought about Minneapolis, but being that we already were living where there was just so much snow and so much cold, going to Minneapolis wasn't going to fix that problem. I wanted to get away from some of the snow. I still want snow. I still want a Christmas that's white. And I still want some of the cold. I don't want it to be as cold, and I don't want as much snow. I think I found the perfect happy medium in Illinois. I just remember growing up there, and there not being as much severe weather when it comes to the winter months. And it's proven to be correct. Been here. We've been through 3 winters here, coming up on our 4th. And they've been nothing compared to the crap we experienced before.
Descend and maintain 9000, FDX 323.
So I really it's gonna be sad soon because I'm on my way back to work next week. I've been on a leave from work due to surgery and health issues for 6 months. Crazy. Actually, it's gonna be over almost 7 months, realistically. But I'm sad to go back to work because I don't want to work again. It's been nice getting paid to not work, even though it's a little less pay than working. But I have to go back because, well, you have to go back, and I have to go back for sure by the end of this month because else I lose my health insurance. But it's been really nice because this last month and a half or so, I've been able to do.
You'll see the cottage view
I'll hold off here.
a relic of a golden age of automobiles and outdoor cinema. It's like a gravestone that lights up, marking the spot where people used to watch films in their cars, which is like watching TV in our bath, but less dangerous. The sign has been standing since the 1960s, a time when people thought the future would be about flying cars, not just watching films about them in parking
Euro Wing
lots.
7 Golf Charlie
It's a
Athens
hit with
Center, roger.
nostalgia, enthusiasts, and moths alike. My friend Toby once tried to recreate a scene from Grease Air, but all he got was a greasy burger and a telling off for dancing on someone's bonnet.
Uh-oh. Okay, just some stuff. You're in Southwest Michigan. Oh, really? Plenty of awful weather during the year, right? Nothing like, yeah. What part of Minnesota did you live in? Out of curiosity. Yeah, like, so I spent 2 decades in North Dakota, in Fargo and Moorhead, which is in Minnesota.
Contacte con aproximación. Madrid
And
en
it's just
124
awful.
decimal 225.
It's just awful. I remember, okay, so here's something I really remember. I was probably like 10 years old, maybe younger, maybe 8. But we went to a store, it's called Max, a hardware store. And my stepfather and my brother and I, we all went there, right? And it was a crazy winter day, blowing snow, and just super windy. And I remember I grabbed on the handle of the door and I lifted. Crap you not, I lifted in the air like I was Superman, and I was holding onto the door handle. And yeah, I weighed pennies. But it was like the most terrifying thing, because I felt like if I let go of that, I'm gonna fly in the air and go flying off somewhere. It was crazy. Incredible. Mankato, okay, I know where that is, yeah. Mankato's nice, I like Mankato.
Delta 401, clear
but that's
direct
like
to Delta
the
Alpha
common
November
thing
Clear direct to Delta Alpha November VR, Delta 401.
in the upper Midwest. Minnesota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, parts of Wisconsin at least, Montana. I'm sure Michigan gets some of it too. Like obviously, at the whole windy city for Chicago.
Alaska 709, clear direct to
It's not really.
Bravo Romeo India.
Welcome to Minneapolis, everyone.
Clear direct to Bravo
There's the
Romeo
Minneapolis
India,
Airport,
Alaska
downtown
709.
Minneapolis right here. Frames are getting really rough now. Down to 50. Yeah, we're losing it as we go. See, we have point stuff out. I can't really make it out. Here's the St. Paul Airport.
Piper 623, Charlie Echo, say altitude.
Currently at 7500 Piper, 623
Hey,
Charlie Echo.
that would be right. Might be the Twins, but that wouldn't make any sense. Doesn't look like it from here. But I know it's not filled in all the way.
Denver Center, good morning. Sunset 656, passing flight level 210 for 290.
Mall of America. There's downtown St. Paul. That Mall of America?
Spirit 792, expect direct waypoint Tango
That might be
India
Mall of
Mike in
America.
5 minutes.
Expecting direct to Tango India Mike in 5 Spirit 792.
That? The baseball field, right? No, that's football. Is that where the Gophers play?
Skywest 510, contact Minneapolis Center on 121.05.
Get a lot of the lake effect? Yeah, that's a lake effect. Let's see. 121.05, Skywest 510. Alright, last 40 minutes. 5. The boringest part of driving and probably flying. Minneapolis Center, Skywest 510, flight level 320. What's funny about Hector International, which is Fargo Airport, their slogan, I don't know if it still is, but it was fly far. Like far, F-A-R. K-F-A-R, the airport code.
Center. Good morning.
Far. far away from here, is I think what they're trying to say. One of the cool things, though, that as long as the wind's cooperating, this flight is typically nice and easy because you're normally flying in runway 36. Nice little curve in. 1/8's not bad either, but I like 36 personally. Get to see more of photogrammetry of Fargo, which is it's nice. It's a nice city. I don't want to crap too much on it. Like it's a nice city. Just super boring. There's nothing to do there, and the winters are awful. And it's not like I do a whole lot here. There's nothing to do there. There is nothing to do. At least, you know, I'm in the Chicago area, so there's something going on. If you don't want to go to a concert or a play or something, you can go to the museum. If you want to do that, there's some sort of something going on in the city, some event that you can go to if you wanted to. I don't. But it's available. And then the food choices, obviously, much bigger cities, you have more options, but type of food is so much. I also like the diversity of a bigger city. 175 nautical miles out. Let us see what our top of descent is looking like to see who we're going to believe. So at 142, so at 132, so by 115, if we don't hear anything from...
Cleveland Center 156, Sirius 156, Sierra, level...
Yeah, if we don't hear anything from ATC by that point to descend, that's where we're going to make our descent. Make sure we get down. Make sure we get on down.
Right now, you're soaring over the Mississippi River, a stretch of water so long. It's like the Earth's got a giant leak. It's been around for millions of years, which is impressive considering most things from that long ago are either fossils or ideas. People come from all over to stare at it, probably because it's too wet to do much else. My friend Toby once tried to water ski across it, but only got halfway before realizing he'd forgotten his skis. He was just swimming really fast and confusing everyone. Quite the spectacle.
Alright, so let's get our, it's time to actually get our arrival going. So, performance, landing, heading, or 356 to be precise. Temperature in whole area 13. Really? Like 80 degrees. 74 degrees here in Illinois. 20-degree difference 400 miles away, or 450. That's crazy. The wind is about the exact same, actually. Shifted a little bit, but 010 at 7. 8 here in Chicago. Alright, we have that loaded in. So, 189, 138, 136.
Maintain 6500.
cleared into Bravo, maintaining 6500 Piper 456 Alpha Bravo.
All good there. Be on the ground here within the next, what? It's some pretty good time up here. I think we cut off another 5 minutes or so. Pilot Life's telling me descend at 18:39. About 8 minutes. Supposed to make. Based on what they're saying. We'll kind of see what happens. I've done this, not this, well, yeah, I've done this flight with Say Intentions. Fine. I've definitely done Minneapolis to Fargo a couple different times too, and it's fine, so. We should get our descent. We are on the experimental server, thanks to, who was that, remind me? Gabe? Cab? Gabe, yeah. I am planning to stream every day this week again. Yeah, Friday, though, will be probably a later start. I have an appointment at 11:30 Central Time. So, depending on what time I get up and rolling on Friday, it may be an afternoon stream. I like to do these morning ones because it seems like there's less streamers doing things around this time. I prefer this. Plus then I have the entire afternoon to work on videos if I want, or just to kind of whatever. But again, so I was saying earlier, so I'm going back to work Monday next week.
Good morning.
So I don't know how the streaming is going to work. How I'm going to be able to continue doing it. If I'm going to switch it to the evenings or what. So kind of, I want to keep doing it. I am having fun doing this. Typically don't like streaming, but it's been kind of fun with Say Intentions.
4000 turn left, heading 075
So
vectors for the RNAV runway 22
kind of see how things go. Eventually I'd like to get an actual schedule down so I have some sort of consistency. So for those who are interested in watching it live, they can. Have a plan of when it actually is going to start. We'll kind of figure out how things work out. I definitely am going to keep doing the videos. That doesn't take that much time away. I have videos planned for the entire month already scheduled, so that's no problem. I'll be starting in June here soon. Streams are always the question marks. Always just question marks. I can just do weekends, I suppose, and not do weekdays. I feel though, not that I really care about the competition. Like I don't care. I'm not trying to take from other content creators. I'm not a big time streamer. I'm not going to be. I don't want to be. I don't want this to be my career. I'm not good at it. But I just feel like less people will be able to find this content. A good afternoon there. Welcome on in. Honestly, the reason why I'm doing these streams is because of Say Intention. Is because I have no other reason to stream. I want to show off the product and how useful and beneficial, and you can see it. Like none of this is scripted. I'm not planning things. It's other than the flight itself.
510, contact Minneapolis Center on 125.5.
And it's all done through the app. 125.5, SkyWest 510. So, and that's what I want people to see, is that it's real. It's not, I'm not making fake content, editing out certain things. Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 510, flight level 320. So I think one of the cool things about doing the live stream, that yeah, you'll see issues that come up with Say Intentions like any other software. We're having issues with the E-Jet and its performance right now. That's live.
510 Minneapolis Center. Good morning.
I wonder if the good morning will actually turn to afternoon right at noon. It'd be interesting to have a flight right at that time frame and see what happens. So anyways, and as things progress with Say Intentions, like I'm gonna keep doing these videos. I might even do, we'll see what the taxiway stuff when that comes out later on today. My plan is to do a video of that, and then maybe I'll do live streaming of when I'm editing. So if people have questions, they can see that. I'm super excited. Just, product is amazing. And I don't get, I'm affiliate with SAYINTENTIONS, but and it's such a small amount. So yes, I will eventually get some money out of it, based on the affiliate program. But I'm not currently. I haven't made a single penny off of that program. I'm doing this because I have fun doing it. I have fun with the product. It's exactly what I've been wanting in Microsoft Flight Sim. Is exactly what I've been wanting. Like Beyond ATC is very nice, and I thought Beyond ATC was going to be the one I wanted. Then out of nowhere, SAYINTENTIONS. You heard rumblings of SAYINTENTIONS, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it was pretty much going to be whatever one came out first is the first one I was going to try, of course. And it ended up being SAYINTENTIONS. And I've said this at one of the previous videos, but if Beyond ATC came out first, that would have been fine. I would have been flying with Beyond ATC. I would have had a good time, right? I eventually would have definitely tried SAYINTENTIONS as soon as that released, just as I did with Beyond ATC. And I would have definitely switched over to SAYINTENTIONS. There's no question. Not because SAYINTENTIONS came out first that I think it's the better tool for myself. It's because it is the better tool for myself. You know, if you look in my YouTube channel, you'll see comments of people asking, you know, which one is better. Well, I'm very clear. It's whatever one's better for you. Which one, what do you need in an ATC software? What can you afford in ATC software? How often are you flying with it, right? Me, SAYINTENTIONS is the best thing
9
for my
miles
buck.
away, you'll find the Sinclair Lewis statue. Sinclair Lewis, a chap who rode Main Street, was quite the character, born in 1885. He was the first American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, which is a bit like winning a gold medal for book club. People who like to stand next to bronze people without getting arrested tend to enjoy the sight. My friend Toby, he once tried to have a picnic with the statue, thinking it was a real person. Took him 3 hours to realize why his conversation was a bit one-sided. And speaking of not quite getting it right, our flying's a bit like Toby's social skills, but he'll get there, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Is she comparing my flying skills to Toby?
Okay, West 510, Minneapolis Center. Expect the ILS, runway 36
I
approach
find
into
that super
Fargo.
offensive. We'll expect the ILS runway 36 approach into Fargo, SkyWest 510. I find that super offensive. Alright, so we did get our descent fairly. It's a little later than what I was expecting with nautical miles out, but
Switching to
based on what the pilots I've been saying,
132.025.
right now it
Good
is
day.
top of descent at 39. I'm figuring we should get it shortly. The top of descent calculator here, I think, is at 500 feet. So if I do KFAR and do 15, okay, do 2,000, 2,500, at about 2,500. Bring back the speed a little bit.
Sun Country 656, contact Denver Center on 126.325.
How about there? Making that descent terribly. 2800 is altitude. AR.
Washington Center, Catbird 104.
We do need to put in our
Bravo
ILS
Delta,
into
flight level 280,
which is 11
inbound Alpha Romeo Golf Alpha Lima.
we have that programmed in there as well, so we are set.
And a good afternoon to you too, Washington Center.
I like that. And good afternoon. It's just so cool to hear other people. Like, I know we're all talking to a computer, but it's so cool.
Clearance Center 128.625, 06 Sierra.
And VATSIM's amazing too. Don't get me wrong, VATSIM is an impressive thing, but like, now you can fly anywhere in the world, anytime you want, with full ATC coverage. That's cool.
Center is 156 Charlie Sierra, level 7000.
Alright, come on, SAYINTENTIONS, give me a descent. Oh, that's interesting. It's showing me altitude of 4, but it's not giving me the actual time. So I'm going to go ahead and make my descent. We're on the experimental server, so could be the issue is. Oh, there it is. 4,000, SkyWest 510. Hilarious. So it's about 3 minutes past. 2 minutes actually now, because the stop descent in pilot's life went to 40. So about 2 minutes after that. That's right on calculations. In all honesty. I get nervous though. You know if Beyond ATC is ever going to get taxi info figured out like SAYINTENTIONS? Do you think you'll always have to get... You know, I don't think Beyond ATC is going to have the crowdsourcing like SAYINTENTIONS will be launching today.
SkyWest 510, contact Minneapolis Center on 126.1. I
do think it's going to be up to them to do it, and it's going to take them a long time to do it, but I think eventually it will get there. Just I think Beyond ATC is going to take a lot longer. Because it's going to be the developers working on it versus us as users.
Are you declaring an emergency?
Ooh, emergency. Oh. Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 510, flight level 290, descending 4,000. But like I truly believe SAYINTENTIONS.
Minneapolis Center, Roger.
I bet you within a month and a half, that the majority of the airports that people fly at will have real actual taxi data now with this crowdsourcing stuff coming out. They were just there's enough pilots, there's enough passion between a handful of people that have the time and willingness to do it. Like myself, I'm gonna put in a whole bunch of taxi information as I do my flying. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it for the community. Beyond ATC, it's going to be tougher if they do it internal. I've heard zero information about them doing any kind of crowdsourcing, or if they even have the capability. They probably don't have the capability, and that's what's so cool about the AI factor, the true AI factor in SAYINTENTIONS. It's so open, you know, plug in some information for it to decide what to do with it. Whereas I feel Beyond ATC, yeah, it has some AI built into it, but it's not like this. Nothing remotely close to it. And that's another thing that's been interesting is as the day has gotten closer and closer to Beyond ATC's launch, the tune over at SAYINTENTIONS has been, oh, it's a great piece of software. It's nothing like ours, but it's a great piece of software. The launch came, oh, it's a great piece of software, but it's nothing like us. And then as we've gotten past the launch now, you're seeing, I feel, a tweak in their thought process with it. Like, it's no longer competition. Because they truly know what they have. And that is exactly what you said, music, is an immersion. So much immersion. At least as I would fake it. Yeah. Yeah, at least you get the whole, typically, you would get the whole Alpha Bravo. And you look at your chart, you're like, there's not even Alpha Bravo anywhere nearby me. I had a flight yesterday, and this is because of the whole integration stuff they're working on, but I was in Phoenix, and I don't remember the runway, but it's like, go to whatever, runway 27 left. And it's like, hold short, runway 27 left, then continue crossing. And I'm like, wait, that's my hold short point. That should have been my hold short point for departure, not to cross. And then it's telling me these other taxiways that don't exist in Phoenix. And I'm like, what is going? And then it had me crossing a runway that doesn't exist in Phoenix either.
9 miles away, heading
I'm like, okay.
245. It's Otto the Otter, a giant concrete otter that's become the pride of Fergus Falls since its creation in 1972.
Giant concrete
it's 40
otter?
feet long, which is quite big for
40
an otter,
feet long?
because otters are normally smaller than that. People come from all over just to stare at it, wondering how it doesn't swim away, being an otter and all. My friend Toby, he once tried to ride Otto like a bucking bronco. He was flung into existential despair instead of a lake. It was quite the spectacle.
Why is there that big of a concrete otter? I understand otter is like big in Minnesota, but oh my goodness, I'm gonna see it. Oh my gosh, hilarious. All right, so let's prep for our landing. Runway 36 would be Echo taking Alpha and then taxiing terminal. This ought to be interesting. It has the taxiways here. Very
Southwest
interesting.
507, turn right, heading 045 vectors for spacing. Right to 045 for spacing,
Bring
Southwest
back our
507.
speed. I'm gonna bring it back all the way down to 210. And I feel like we're a little high at the point, but still have 30, almost 37 out. I think whoever gets traffic first is going to up the game again. As a blind simmer, the tour guide adds so much an otherwise boring cruise with this. Yeah, like, this tour guide is so cool. Is so cool. I think I talked about this last week on one of my streams, or maybe all of them. But I am going to start a new world tour. I completed one a couple years ago. I'm going to start a new one up. I'm testing to figure out which aircraft I want to use. But it's going to be, no doubt, with the tour guide. I think it's going to be so cool learning about weird facts. Weird facts you never would have picked up a book and started reading about somewhere in the middle of whatever, Louisiana, right? Alright, so I wait until we're about 17 and then I'll go ahead and go standard, or switch off to standard. Limiter in Fargo 299. Pretty close to standard. 2990 is what we're saying. Let's see. Hey, do you think SI can sustain their product even with 30 subscription? They didn't say they're not profitable. They did say they're not profitable at high price would mean less users at all. I think so. I think so. Obviously, they're really banking on more people joining as more content's placed up for people to watch. Streamers, YouTube, whatever it be. And as the cost of AI drops, they've already said this, as the cost of AI drops, the cost of the subscription will drop. And I think that's where the big point is going to be. I think it's an early piece of software, and they need to get some sort of income. And I think that's where they're at now. So it's good enough. They threw it out there to bring in some income. As it matures, you know, over the next year or so, the cost should hopefully drop down, maybe down to 20 bucks, right? And that would be more in line with maybe what people would be willing to spend on it. So yeah, I think it's going to be sustainable. I think so. Think about, like, you know, when Netflix first started up, as the DVD service. You could get 2 DVDs out at a time, as many as you want in a month, because you can only have 2 out at a time, right? But they had to build up all these facilities throughout the nation, at least in the U.S. They had to get all these movies, right? All these movies. They spent a lot of capital to make it happen. They weren't profitable for a very long time. Eventually, they made a breaking point where they actually made the money, and I think that's where SAYINTENTION is. They're fairly early on that Netflix world, and they'll be getting eventually profitable as more users join in. I think Netflix was like $20 initially for the DVD rental service. You could rent movies at whatever Blockbuster for $3-4 at the time. So, it really just depends on the person, depends on the need, right? Can I switch over? I'll switch over. I'm not gonna tell them. Minneapolis Center, SkyWest 510, 2000, descending 4000. Also, without traffic, multiplayer gives a decent simulation of bat sim and others. Yeah, the voice
SkyWest
itself.
510 Minneapolis Center. Good morning. Altimeter 29901.
The background chatter, whether it's the candid or the multiplayer, is a huge plus in my opinion. And it does feel alive. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm on the system of the Sim Update 15 beta, so it's very lonely in the sky. Only a handful of people that are actually on the beta itself. And having, say, intentions has at least made the sky a little bit more alive. A little bit more alive. I'm going to put some speed brakes on now to get us slowing down a little bit, because we are a little fast. 14 nautical miles from the FAR waypoint. And we're just a little bit from actually putting on our landing lights again. Should be handed off to Chicago, to Fargo Pro 120.4 momentarily.
SkyWest 510 Minneapolis Center. Descend and maintain 5000, turn left, heading 165 vectors for the ILS runway 36 approach.
165.
Washington Center, Catbird 104.
Descend 5000, left heading 165, SkyWest 510. Something's there.
5. Nope, sorry. Cancel that.
Why would we turn left that far out? Or on... I'm gonna hold where we are. I think it will correct itself. Unless it thinks we're too high like we are. Wish we had the option to turn candid chatter. Yeah, I think that's what they're working on next, actually. I think that's what they're working on next. I recall hearing something about that.
SkyWest 510, contact Fargo approach on 120.4. SkyWest 510, descend and maintain 3500, turn left, heading 200.
A lot of stuff going on now. 350200. A little better. A little bit better, but still, like, I don't understand why we... Oh, it's trying to give us over to the wool. I see what it's trying to do. That's alright. We're gonna stay on where we are. Hit this button. Fargo approach. Good morning. SkyWest 510, 6500, descending 3000 for the 36 ILS approach. Let's see what this says. There's a waypoint over here. It's trying to vector us to. It's on the approach plate, but we didn't have it set up for this approach.
SkyWest 510,
Yeah,
Fargo
see.
approach 6 miles from Willow. Turn left heading 220. Descend and maintain 2500 until established on the localizer. Clear
I
the
see.
ILS runway 36 approach.
We're going to Fargo, Anonymous. We're going to Fargo.
On to our 1 o'clock, about 7 miles away. You'll see the Microsoft Bison. It's not an actual bison, mind you, but a rather large sculpture that celebrates the tech giant's presence in Fargo.
Yeah,
Microsoft,
for the vectors.
you might
Well, it's
know,
correct.
has been around since the dark ages of technology.
It just wasn't... We didn't have it set up
Also, in the 1970s,
for a waypoint.
It's important because, well, without it, you might not have had the flight
German
simulator
Eagle
to practice
10
on,
Chennai,
people who
approach.
enjoy staring
Output.
at large
Good evening.
inanimate
Hope
objects
all's
that
well up
represent
there.
corporates might find it fascinating. My
Nakatoa,
friend Toby,
Julian 7
he
Golf
once tried
Charlie,
to
on
ride it,
final
thinking
approach
it would
runway
boost his
22.
Wi-Fi signal. Turned out,
Everything's
the
fine,
only thing
thank
that
you,
got
ma'am.
boosted was his embarrassment when he realized it wasn't a hotspot.
Alright, it overshot our runway, didn't it? Yep.
SkyWest 510, Fargo approach, contact Fargo Tower on 133.8.
338. Fargo Tower, SkyWest 510 on final 36. Alright, now we have to do, we're gonna hand do this approach for this landing. I was gonna do the AP, but
SkyWest 510, Fargo Tower, winds 350 at 18. Runway 36, cleared to land.
runway 36 clear to land, SkyWest 510. Alright, gonna get that speed to drop a little bit more. Get our flaps going. Definitely windier than 7. It's just because we're high yet, but what, 16, 20? Laps 2. Pretty close on to the ILS approach. Down to 60 with the FPS. Damn plane. Love-hate relationship. You're coming down. Go low on the approach. E-brake stowed.
Diamond Tree 71 Bravo Charlie, make a tree 60 degree turn to the right for spacing.
Making a tree 60 degree right turn. Diamond Tree 71 Bravo Charlie.
Right, approach has gone really haywire. Trying to recover it the best I can.
300. Approaching minimums.
Mustang 9er Kilo Uniform 59, enter left downwind, expect landing clearance.
Minimums.
Entering left downwind, awaiting landing clearance, Mustang 9er Kilo Uniform 59.
100.
Alright, throttle's at idle.
50.
Throttle off.
20. 10.
Alright. Welcome to Fargo. Fargo. That was a hell of an interesting approach. You're a little high to start off with. Got that under control, but then I couldn't get... They didn't have enough time to dial in the heading, to switch over to heading mode, and then switch over to change the FMS. So I had to go hand fly it in. Wasn't set up really for that either, because I didn't have the trim really set up. But we made it happen.
SkyWest
Got down nice and
510,
safe.
welcome to Fargo. Contact ground on 121.9er.
1219. 1, 2. Fargo ground, SkyWest 510, taxiway Alpha, like the taxi to the terminal. Turn off our lights. EPU rolling.
SkyWest 510 Fargo ground taxi to terminal at your discretion. Have good day.
Have good day. So yeah, when they launched all the stuff today, the taxi, crowdsourcing taxi, and the Navigraph stuff, this will be fixed. This will definitely be fixed. I think when they've added stuff in the background, they've kind of broken some things in the meantime. Right, well, that was an hour and a half flight. We saved 30 minutes in the air. That's impressive. That is really impressive. But the stream is even under 2 hours. That's really impressive. Alright, the real flight actually parked at Terminal 1. I think we're on Terminal 3. Or 2. We're off one terminal. I've actually never departed from this terminal before. I always depart Terminal 1. I've done 5 before. On Frontier, I think it was. Or Allegiant, I can't remember what line it was. Alright, so we can get out of that. So we go on down here. Wheel chocks, cones, GPU, and jetway. This is a freeware add-on, by the way. If you ever fly into Fargo, which I'm not sure why you would, it's not bad for being a freeware. The paidware one is crap compared to this. This should go in here. Okay, and we got that all set up. It will auto switch over from the APU to the battery.
Gulfstream 671 Golf Sierra, follow the Falcon, then turn right onto taxiway
It will go
Juliet.
active later today.
Following
Later
the
today.
Falcon, turning right onto Juliet Gulfstream 671 Golf Sierra.
They're waiting. So Ryan is the main dude that works on that, and he is where he lives over somewhere, I think. But so I think that Brian's kind of waiting for him to integrate stuff. But anywho, so let's see how we did here. Our flight. So post-flight, submit it. Yes. Yeah, I think they said this evening. Brian is saying like 6 o'clock tonight. West Coast time. So late tonight. You're in if you're on the east or the central, the Midwest. Late this evening. Here's my next flight, which I'm probably gonna skip because I don't like going somewhere. How did we do? I got 100 or no? Did I screw anything? I can't remember. The approach was hot. No, the approach is alright. 100. I'll take it.
Echo traffic on final.
The landing 206. Not bad.
Echo Gulfstream
Not too bad.
671 Golf Sierra.
So I'll show you actually I'll show you how I actually do decide to choose my flight. So I'm gonna skip that one. We're up for a new schedule, so that random flights. So I do short hauls. I do random trips. You can do trips from a hub. So SkyWest hubs. What?
Auger
Chicago's
511
one.
Hotel Alpha taxi to runway tree 2 via taxiway Hotel in November.
Los Angeles, I think's one as well.
Via Hotel in November, Hawker
But anyways,
511 Hotel
and then you can
Alpha.
choose from the planes. SkyWest only flies the CRJ and the E-Jet. And I think I've said this before, but I like SkyWest because they're a regional airline. They have a lot of flights that are short. That's what I prefer.
Continuing on Alpha, holding short of runway tree 2 King Air
So
145
click
Kilo
generate
Alpha.
and it will bring up a number of flights. First thing I look at is the distances. Because if there's a bunch of 500s, well, I'm going to skip it. I don't typically do 500s. We got Chicago to Sioux Falls. We got Grand Forks to Minneapolis, Houston, LA. I found that so many times. Chattanooga. I just did this one. No, I did a Phoenix one. Denver. The hell? Topeka. I've never been there, I don't think. Milwaukee, Detroit, just did those. I've done a couple of these ones. I did a Grand Forks one recently. So since I've done a few of these, I'm gonna regenerate it again. Yeah, now. Never done this flight. Never done this flight. I normally would skip this flight. Another long one. Done that a couple times. Never done that. That. And that. I've done this. This isn't too bad. Like I'm interested in this and this. Short flights. A bunch of short ones in here. I'm gonna generate another one. Got 1, 2, 3, 3 that I would likely skip. So right away I'm just gonna generate it. This is better. Minneapolis to Midway. That's kind of cool. Normally I fly into O'Hare. Not too bad. I've done that a couple of times, but that's not a bad flight. Done that a couple times, so I don't mind that flight either. I like that. Lake Charles isn't bad. Columbia Metro. That's I've never done that, but that's I'd skip. That a couple times already. Decatur.
Contact tower 118.
That flight, I don't think. Not bad. I actually might do this. Let's accept it. It'd be cool if, with the schedule thing, if you can hold. Like maybe hold like 3 different schedules, and then you can look between the ones and then decide if that's what you want to do or not. But like I've been with SkyWest now for a little bit longer recently.
Bonanza Hotel Kilo Mike taxi to holding point Runwa, right via Quebec Mike Alpha. Contact tower on 120.2 when ready for departure.
That's one of the new voices they just added in today. That's so cool. I was like, what the hell is that? That's pretty cool sounding. Oh, they got new schedule. Our new flights offers. Airline offers. Do you talk? Yes, which was on my last offer. In North. But yes, I've been with, if you look at the logbook, I've been with SkyWest now for March. Can I switch over back to them? Oh, April. Pretty much March. I was at Delta for a while there, and FedEx for a very long while. Now I've been with, yeah, so I've been with SkyWest for a very long time. There's a way to
Falcon 762 Foxtrot
report.
Romeo, cross runway 24, contact ground on 121.9er.
Flights report.
Crossing runway 24, contacting ground on 121.9er.
I think this will break down
762 Foxtrot Romeo.
different airlines. I think. Oh, just number of flights. Here we go, airlines. So I've done 209 flights with, I'm guessing the SkyWest. Listening on here, but yeah, that's definitely got to be SkyWest. And then Pink FedEx, number 2 with the number amount of flights.
Taxiways Bravo and Delta.
Then Air New Zealand, no, Delta, Air New Zealand, and then kind of the other ones are pretty evened. 209 flights with SkyWest though, holy crap. I knew it was high, but not that high. And then here's the breakdown of aircraft. So 219 with the 737, no surprise. 89. Oh, wow.
Sierra hold short of taxiway Delta traffic crossing.
89. That's
taxiway Delta, Gulfstream
interesting.
671 Golf Sierra.
Here we go. 89 with the 170. Yeah. And then we got second place, 53. What is that? 306. That makes sense. 48. With the, which one is that one? Colors are too close. Is that the ATR? Probably makes sense. CRJ is only 48, really. I knew the 737 would be high. The A320 is going to start coming up slowly. That one. 29. That'll start slowly coming up. Clearly, I'm a Big fan of the 737. Most of my flights are career flights, and they're all in flight sim, of course. Here's the breakdown of how many flights. You can clearly tell the jump here when I have been away from work. Well, all through here. I've been away from work. Here is when I was in the hospital, so no flights. But yeah, big uptick. Score, all of mine are at least been over 80. I think the lowest I've had is like a 90 or maybe 88. 88, I think, is the low. But yeah, anyways, I showed this off a couple different times too, but I do recommend if you're big into airlines, get a pilot's life. It's a really cool piece of software. Really cool piece of software.
Following the King Air, holding short of runway 30, Embraer 225, Echo Mike.
But I'm gonna end the stream here. I do appreciate you watching as always. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me and being part of the experience on today's flight. This is a lot of fun. I've been having a really good time. And I've said this before on some of my past streams. I'm not really a streamer. I don't talk a lot. Not exciting of a person like you should be for a streamer. But having you all in here and chatting and kind of keep me awake is something that truly I respect and appreciate. And it gives me the willpower to actually want to do a stream. One little side note, so when I lived in Fargo, I'd go to the air show typically every 2 years. And they'd have all planes lined up here. And then we'd always sit right about here. We'd always sit right here and watch the air show. And it's so cool. Like, I can picture right now all the planes doing their cool acrobatic stuff in there, or the Blue Angels flying over. Really, really cool. And once in a while, you'd have the commercial planes come in and land. Really, really cool. But again, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. We'll see you on the next stream. And if you haven't, go ahead and take a look at some of my other videos on SAYINTENTIONS and beyond ATC. We'll see you for the next flight. Take care.